we go.
You're now live with the crown prince of glam metal himself. It's J0KeR's Electric Circus. J0KeR's Electric Circus. Keeping the music loud and the hair wild. On MetalMessiahRadio.com.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is the Friday edition of the Electric Circus radio show right here at MetalMessiahRadio.com, your metal music messiah. And we got a very special guest on the phone with me right now. We got LIV SIN of the band from Sweden, LIV SIN. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
It's great having you here, and congratulations on the brand new album.
Thank you.
So tell us about the new album.
Some people might know that I used to sing in a band called Sisters In, which ended in 2015, but I decided to keep on playing music, so I started my own project, and that was kind of 1 year ago, and in April we released the first album, Follow Me, from the new project LIV SIN, and I'm very happy that I can still be here to play music, and I'm very happy to actually do my own thing now. I'm very happy about it.
Yes, we remember the band Sister Sin, and we play it here on the show a lot too. We love that band you was in too. So
great.
So tell us of the brief history of your new band.
When I first started out when I decided that I actually wanted to continue, I was kind of by myself. I had my manager, Jeff, and then I also had my drummer. He used to help out in Sister Sin, and he's also my boyfriend, so he was kind of very easy to hire. But that was it, and I had to find a guitar player pretty quick that could help me make some songs, because I play guitar, but I'm not the best guitar player, so I needed someone who could understand the kind of riffs that I was going after, or the ideas I had in my head which didn't match my fingers very well. Patrick, then I found Patrick, who is an old friend of mine, who used to play more punk rock, but I asked him if he was interested in play metal. So that's how it started. The three of us, we were working on an album. Even before we had a record deal, we were starting to work on doing this album, Follow Me. And I think it was in June, we got a record deal with a Swedish label called Despotz Records. And then we started to record in October we started to record, and I found my second guitar player, Christopher, just before the recording, so he was also in the recording. So I had two guitar players, and then after the recording, we finally had time to find our bass player, Tommy. So he's not on the recording, and there was just very short deadline, a very short amount of time to get everything going with this project. But in the end, it turned out very good, and as I told you, I'm very happy about it. I'm happy to be on my own feet for this thing, actually.
Awesome, very cool. Who does the songwriting in the band?
That's me and Patrick, one of the guitar players, the first guitar player that I found, who is the riff master guy, and Christopher is the solo master guy. I have one of each, so I'm very happy about that. They are a good complement to each other.
Right, cool. You seem to explore darker themes with the new band. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that was my intention from the beginning. I know that in my head, most people or most singers that do their own project or do a solo album or whatever, they always tend to get softer or poppier or more acoustic or whatever. So I was like, I'm going the opposite, because that's what I always wanted to do. I wanted to play even heavier metal, even heavier music than when I did in Sister Sin. I loved the music in Sister Sin, and I loved playing in Sister Sin, but I always wanted to explore a little bit heavier music. So when I got the opportunity to do that, I said, I'm going to go all in heavy metal for this.
Very cool, awesome. We love the new album, and I was watching your video, the video Let Me Out. Where was it filmed at, and tell us about it.
Well, it was partly in a kind of a studio rehearsal room, but partly in an old castle in Uppsala, which is a town outside of Stockholm. So it's an old castle, and the cool thing was that I actually had a room between the floors. So one of when my character is locked in a room, there's actually a room between the floor 1 and 2. So it's kind of 1.5, and you have to find it through a stair in the floor of the second floor, and you go down a little bit, and then you found like a abandoned room. Very weird. No one actually, I don't think they even know where it's there. Probably the floors have been moved some time ago or something, maybe, but it's a room with carpets and all this stuff, a small room, and it's very strange because it's between the floors. So that was it was very dirty in there, very dirty, very filthy, and a little bit scary to record it actually. But it was fun. You have to do it for the art, right?
What is a lot of your songs about?
Well, it's kind of, most of the songs are about my opinions of the world. And when I wrote the lyrics, I am still very disappointed at the world, but I think I was even more, maybe I was in a place where I was more disappointed at the human race and the world and where the world is leading.
Right.
I'm still very disappointed. It's not better today. Maybe I just get a little bit more used to it. I don't know. But so a lot of the songs are about how I feel towards things happening in the world. But also it's, of course, songs about self-experience songs, which,
right.
I mean, songs about things that I have experienced and my emotions and stuff like that, like Endless Road, which of course is about touring, being in a band and touring and giving your life to music.
What is the ultimate direction for your band?
Up.
What?
And just up. Very much up, I think, would be awesome to go.
Oh, cool. Who are your influences that made you want to be a singer and a musician?
From the very, very, very first beginning, it was actually Courtney Love from Hole who inspired me. I thought she was the coolest girl ever, and I was kind of 14, I think, 13 or 14, so maybe not the best role model for a 40-year-old girl, but she was the coolest thing I ever seen, so I wanted to be like her. So that's how it started. And then I found more heavier stuff. I got into Pantera and Slayer, and I found kind of my music. And I was always on, since I was 15, I decided that I wanted to play music in a rock band.
Yeah, I can hear the influences in your music, and it's very well. We love it. But anyway, how do you promote your shows?
That's a good question, actually. I guess social media is one of the best things to promote shows nowadays. But then also, I hope that my booking agent does his job to promote shows also. You kind of count on that. But otherwise, yeah, social media is, I mean, everybody uses that to put out and to get interest for the shows and etc. So I would say social media.
Awesome. Please tell us about the Sweden metal scene when you was coming up.
Well, I mean, the Sweden have always been very good in any kind of music, I think. But we have a very broad metal scene. Then we have very more of the harder metal and the more extreme metal. I mean, the Gothenburg sound style, of course. So I think that I don't really know why it is like that. But I also think that in the whole of Scandinavia, music is very big, and metal is very big, and I think we have great musicians, and a lot of people play here. A lot of people play instruments here, and I think that we have the opportunity since we were a child to actually go and learn an instrument almost for free when you are a kid, which is amazing. I think that is very good that kids today can, and when I was a kid, that you can go almost for free and learn an instrument, and I think that will get kids into music instead of into trouble, hopefully. But then, of course, some music also means trouble, because then you go in a rock band and you go on tour, and then you're trouble anyway. So.
Right, you won an award in 2011 for Revolver Magazine Hottest Chicks in Metal Calendar. Please tell us about that experience.
I'm very happy about that. Of course, it's always nice when you get recognized. And then if somebody thinks I'm a hot chick in metal, I'm not turning it down. So, I know that some might not agree with the idea of having the hottest chicks in metal thing, because music should be music. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl or whatever. And I can agree on that, absolutely. But also, I mean, any promotion is good promotion. So of course it gives you promotion. And if you don't have promotion today, and you will not be seen, it's so many bands out there. So I'm just very happy and pleased that Revolver took me into hottest chicks in metal. So thank you for that, Revolver. And so yeah, that's what I can say about that.
What's the difference between European metal fans than American fans? What's the difference between them?
It depends on where you are in Europe, and it depends on where you are in America, because it's like both in Europe and in America you have certain states or certain countries that are better to play in. Like, I mean, I love to play in New Mexico. It's always very good to play in New Mexico. Also Arizona, always good. People are crazy there, or the fans are very dedicated, and it's the same like going to Spain and Italy and France. Always very good audience. But then you come to the UK, and the audience are more stiff. And it's the same in some other states in America. If you go to New York, the audience are more stiff, for example. So it's kind of depending on where you are, actually. So it's hard to compare the whole audience in America with the whole audience in Europe, I have to say, actually.
Right. Please tell us about your upcoming shows, and please tell us why she would be there, and what kind of LIV SIN show will we get?
Right now we are most focusing on the festival summer, of course, because it's June. So we have some festivals here in Sweden and the Czech Republic, for example. So that's what we are focusing now. And I mean, for me, I love playing on festivals. I love the bigger stage. I love the kind of feeling you get from the audience, because the audience, they're on a festival, they're in a very good mood all the time. Sometimes when you go to concerts, of course people are wonderful in concerts too, but some people they need to go out to work the next day or whatever. But when you're in a festival, people get so relaxed. They're like, oh, it's 4 days or 3 days or whatever. We're just having fun, listen to good music. So it's a more relaxed feeling on festivals. So that's why I really love it. The festivals. So looking forward to that very much. And we're going to give our best. We're going to go out there and just force people to headbang. And if I can't force people to headbang, I kind of feel like I failed, because that's my goal when I go out there. People will enjoy it. I want people to enjoy it. I want people to feel the music, and I want people to get into it and headbang.
What advice do you have up-and-coming female singers and musicians? What advice do you have for somebody young that wants to be a singer? To never give up, to listen to the heart, and if your heart is telling you that it's worth all the troubles and all the sacrifices you have to do, then never give up, and don't listen to, because people will tell you that you can't do it, people will tell you to grow up and get a job, etc. But you have to be very
determined what you want to do, you have to be very sure about it yourself. You have to feel it in your heart, and you have to understand that it's going to take a lot of sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice a lot, family, friends, whatever, because everything that matters will be the music and the band. Or that be, at least it will be the priority in your life.
Awesome.
But if you can take that, it's just go for it and never listen to idiots.
How can the fans gain access to your music, and give us some plugs for your websites where they can buy the new CD?
It should be out everywhere on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon and Deezer. I know that for sure. And also we have for downloads and streaming, and then we also have both a CD and a vinyl. If you like to buy vinyls, I know I prefer vinyls myself. So and you can buy it through either the record label's website. I think also you can buy it on kind of Amazon and stuff like that. But very soon also on our own website, but it's not yet up. So it's gonna. I think it's pretty easy. It should be out everywhere. I've even seen that it's sold on Target somewhere. So I hope that you can find it.
Any last words in closing the interview you'd like to say, shout outs to your fans?
I just want to say that we really hope that, I am really hoping that I can take my new band over to America in 2018. It's nothing confirmed, but we are thinking about it. We are working on it, and I hope that we can really make it over, because I miss touring in America, and I miss all the fans in America, and I really want to come back. So keep your eyes open and hopefully see. Hello everyone, this is Liv from LIV SIN, and you're listening to J0KeR's Electric Circus Radio on metalmessiahradio.com.